In the far reaches of the world, beyond jagged mountains and forests shrouded in mist, lay a village that whispered only in hushed tones about the Black Peaks. No one ventured near them, not since the dragons returned. Long ago, the dragons had been creatures of myth, nothing more than stories to frighten children. But then the village shepherds began to vanish, one by one, and the skies grew dark with shadows that blotted out the sun. The villagers claimed it was the wind, but they knew the truth. They had awoken the ancient guardians of the mountains. One cold evening, a young hunter named Mara dared to set foot in the Black Peaks. Her brother had gone missing days before, and she could no longer bear to wait. Armed with only a bow and a trembling heart, she climbed the steep cliffs, the bones of her ancestors crunching beneath her feet. The path twisted unnaturally, and the air grew thick with an acrid smell. At dusk, Mara stumbled upon a vast cavern, its mouth wide and gaping, as if waiting for her. The walls were scorched black, lined with ancient claw marks. She felt the heat before she saw them: dragons, their scales as dark as night, their eyes burning with a cruel fire. They were enormous, their wings folded like death's shadow around the treasures they guarded: bones, gold, and relics from long-forgotten kingdoms. Mara's breath caught as one of the dragons stirred, lifting its head. Its eyes locked onto hers, glowing like molten embers. For a moment it seemed as if time stood still. She could hear the beat of its heart echoing in her chest, slow and heavy. Suddenly, a low growl rumbled from deep within its throat, reverberating through the cave. The others awoke, their eyes blinking open, each more terrifying than the last. Mara froze, realizing with a sickening dread that these were no mindless beasts. They were ancient, wise, and vengeful. The largest dragon, its scales tinged with silver, rose from the shadows. It spoke not with words, but with a voice that echoed in her mind, ancient and terrible. "You seek what is lost," it whispered. "But you are too late." Mara's heart sank as the dragon stepped forward, its claws clicking on the stone. Behind it, the shadows shifted, revealing her brother. His eyes were hollow, his skin pale as death. He was no longer human, twisted into something monstrous, a servant of the dragons. "You brought this upon him," the dragon continued, its voice dripping with malice. "When your people disturbed our rest, we marked your kind. He is ours now, as you shall be." Before Mara could scream, the cavern seemed to close in on her, the heat overwhelming. The dragons circled, their wings spreading wide, blocking out all light. The last thing she saw was the silver dragon's maw opening wide, filled with endless fire, as darkness consumed her. The next morning, the village awoke to find Mara's footprints leading up to the Black Peaks, but none returning. They knew then what they had feared all along: no one escaped the dragons. And so, they sealed themselves in their homes, praying to be forgotten, though deep in their hearts, they knew it was only a matter of time before the dragons came for them too.